Hi, I'm Sully, and I'm making a game about my testimony of becoming a believer in Christ. Welcome to Devlog 3 of Untitled C Game. This sprint, I started to spruce up the look of my game a little bit. I added an island and a house that I found on the Unity asset store. I'll put the links in the description for those free assets. I thought this looked pretty good and gave me some ideas for terrain development in the future. I also planned a lot of the gameplay revolving around the story of the game this sprint. I was quite pleased with the ideas that I noted in OneNote, and the project is a lot clearer to me now. Last devlog I said that I would focus on some story elements, and so I started getting a dialogue system working. I got it working using a dialogue system that I made for a previous unfinished game, but ran into an odd bug that I hadn't remembered ever running into before. It turns out it was a pretty simple fix where I was just reusing the same reference for all the dialogue buttons, so that's why you can see it always choosing the last dialogue option. After fixing that bug, I decided to abstract the logic for entering and exiting a trigger, since I knew I would be using it pretty regularly for at least docking and undocking the boat, fishing, and any dialogue in the game. This took me quite a bit longer than expected, but removed a lot of boilerplate and duplicated code, and made these systems easier to read and easier to use. So I'm hoping it was worth it and will save a lot of time in the future. I then created some dialogue scripts in a language called Ink. Ink is a narrative scripting language that I'd used in my previous projects because although it has a slight learning curve, it is quite powerful and makes dialogue a lot more flexible than a more from scratch solution. I was able to make a simple script and run through the scene without many hiccups. The UI is definitely subject to change as I'm not the hugest fan of how I created the UI for my past project, but it'll work for now. I also added the ability to make an event, such as undocking the boat, dependent on dialogue being played beforehand. I also got dialogue working inside the boat, as if you were transporting and speaking with a passenger. I intend to use both of these functionalities for tutorials at the beginning of the game, as well as other more linear quests, or missions, or whatever you want to call them. Finally, I brainstormed how to control the density of fish and the success rate at which the player would catch fish. I'm not 100% sure if this will work, but my idea is to basically create a terrain layer under the waves that acts like a weight paint texture, where a rate cast would be shot underneath the player when they engage a fishing spot, and if it hits a specific layer of terrain, the likelihood of catching more fish would be greater. Next sprint, I'm going to be making a lot more progress on this, as well as finishing out some quests for the game now that I have a better idea of the future gameplay, and I have a working dialogue system. It may not really seem like it, but I feel like I really hit a stride this sprint, and I got a lot of prerequisite gameplay mechanics down to really start making progress on the game. During the next sprint, I'm going on vacation with my family, and I have also a lot of work to do helping my landlord this upcoming week, so I'm going to be pushing the next devlog forward another week. This means that instead of the 29th of July, I'll be planning for Devlog 4 to come out on the 5th of August. Also, because finishing this game by August 20th is gradually becoming more unrealistic, I'm just going to try to get a demo out on itch.io that you guys can play and give feedback on. Of course, if I find that I have more time than I think, I'll try to do as much as I can, but this is a more realistic goal, I think, without compromising the vision of the game. Then after August 20th, I'll be working on the game throughout the semester, but it'll be a lot slower probably because I'll be busy with school and work. But anyways, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in about 3 weeks for another devlog.